All right, welcome back to Speak Your Piece podcast. We got a video camera for this one. We're in person.
Yes.
My name is Ian McNaughton, Biggie. Joining me in person, SYP creator Scott. Scott, how's it going?
It's good. It's good. Good to be done. Finals. I'm a free man. 7 semesters down, 1 to go in my university career. So very excited about that. But I'm excited to pod tonight.
Yeah,
it'd be good.
We have a bunch of props, by the way.
Yes.
This podcast is sponsored by Live Clean Holly Berry moisturizing, hydrating. Oh no, that's just the French. Liquid hand soap.
So liquid hand soap. Also, this podcast is brought to you by Shaft. Will keep you up in the morning and keep you up at night, all night long. Also, what else we got?
We also have. My mother gave us Peeps marshmallow candy cane. If you can see that. Candy cane Peeps. I don't know if I'm supposed to eat one on the podcast or if we're just sponsored by them.
I think we're just sponsored by them.
I don't know if I'm supposed to have the Shaft or if I'm supposed to just say we're sponsored by it.
Well, if do you want to stay up all night, then you
No,
have
I
Shaft.
don't.
Okay, then don't have the Shaft. There you go. Easy enough.
I don't like getting shafted. So tonight we're doing a World Juniors pod in person.
Yeah.
We're doing this in my bedroom in the secret location, which is on Mancomb Road in Squamish, past the intersection to go to the estates. If you just go beyond that, that's pretty much where I am in that secret location. We're going team by team, group by group for the 2022 World Junior Championship.
Yeah.
You sent me a Google Doc on Sunday night.
Was it Sunday? Yeah, it was Sunday. At least for Sunday. Yeah.
Sunday night. I did not see it on Sunday because I was doing Silvertip stuff.
Yes.
We are recording this on Wednesday, so finally getting to it. I got some stuff down. We did picks. We did some notes. We're excited for these World Juniors because I mean. One of our favorite tournaments every year, anyway.
Oh, it's my favorite tournament for sure, and it's again coming home at Christmas. It's kind of like a tradition. You watch the World Juniors, you watch the boys rip it apart on the ice, and this Canadian team will be no exception. But we'll start with. Do you want to start with Canada, or do you want to? What do you think?
Let's give our predictions first for Group A.
So Group A, Canada's going to finish first. Yes. Finland will finish second. Yes. Czech Republic will finish third. Germany will finish fourth, and Austria will finish in fifth. And I think Ian's is pretty similar.
I have Canada 1, Finland 2, Czechs 3, Germans 4, Austria 5.
That's the exact same. Yeah,
pretty much.
That's exactly.
I am. This is just an overall thing. This is not just a Group A thing. Sure. I am a bit worried that it's going to be similar to last year's tournament where Canada wasn't really challenged too much until they got to the medal round.
Yeah, it might be. But it might be. But again, we got to see. I will say Group B is pretty strong. Mm-hmm. And even down to like the fourth and fifth teams, like they're all pretty good.
Yeah.
And nothing like they're not going to compete for first place, but they're going to possibly put some scares into some teams.
So let's go through Canada then. Let's talk about Canada first. Sure. That's what the people are going to want to listen to.
Yeah. So
watch.
Listen to first. Yeah.
Canada. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, the only returning forward for Canada is Cole Perfetti.
Correct, yeah.
Caden Gooley is the captain. He's on defense.
Yep.
The goalies probably cost us the starting goalie.
I would say, as of right now, cost us probably the starter. We got to see some pre-tournament games first, but I would say cost is probably the starter. Garand is the only returning goalie, but I think he'll probably get into a backup role. He might play against Austria, might play against Germany. But likely it'll be Casa getting the games against the Czech Republic on night 1.
I don't mind that as a Red Wings fan. I don't mind Casa getting the starting. I mean, he has been kicking ass. It's not for the lack of participation or lack of stats. Like the dude has earned the number 1 role, and probably Garand has too to a certain extent as well.
I would say so. Yeah, they're both on good teams, and Casa's in the WHL.
Yeah, he's with Edmonton.
He's at Edmonton, and then Garand's with the Blazers. So I saw him play not too long ago, actually, but he looked pretty good.
I didn't either. I saw Garand play not too long ago either.
There you go. Look at us go. We're WHL experts.
We are in-person experts now.
Yes.
Who are you looking forward to seeing on Canada this year?
Like, again, I could name a bunch of guys, and I'm not going to be a homer and pick McTavish because obviously I'm going to watch him. But Connor Bedard is the guy that stands out to me. There's all the hype about Shane Wright, and that's very much warranted. I'm sure he's one of your players to watch likely. But Bedard, he's an absolute game breaker from West Vancouver. Based on what I saw in the pre-tournament, he's the 13th forward right now.
Possibly,
but
it makes sense because he's the youngest.
He's the youngest guy on the team. But again, here's the thing: is that he might even get up the lineup pretty quickly because of how good and how dynamic he is on the ice. And he'll be. There's another guy I'll talk about later from Russia, but he's going to be likely 2023 top 2 pick. And I like his game. I just think he's just so fun to watch on the ice.
Who leads the team in scoring
right now?
Well, Canada. Who leads Canada in scoring throughout the tournament? Who's your prediction?
Oh, for my prediction. Oh,
yeah.
Oh gosh. Probably Shane Wright, to be honest.
Ooh, okay.
I would say Shane Wright. I'm not saying he's gonna be like McDavid, but he's gonna put up not McDavid like numbers, but he's gonna put on have the presence and have like the dynamic play that McDavid did in the 2015 World Juniors. So likely we'll see Shane Wright up above on the leaderboard.
I like Dalen Gunther to be like
I would say scorer. He would be another guy up there as well.
Kent Johnson is like a wild card, I think, too, to like lead the team in scoring.
Kent Johnson might be like a top forward in the tournament.
Yes.
He actually might be.
He's actually like really good.
Yeah. Go watch highlight reels.
Kent Johnson, a former trail smoke eater.
He's a BC guy as well.
North Van.
Port Moody.
Defense for Team Canada. I don't want to say it's a weird decor, but it's like you have Owen Power, who I like. Gouli is going to be on the top pair.
Yeah. Him and Power will be the top 2 guys.
You would think. Carson Lambos is a guy I like.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to say that all the silver tips.
You can talk about them. Talk about your silver tips. There's two of them.
But I'll say the other guy I'm interested in is Donovan Sebrengo.
Sebrengo, yeah, okay.
He's like been a 2020 pick from the Red Wings.
That's right, yeah.
Kitchener Ranger.
Yep.
Assistant captain in Kitchener. I like him. And then Owen Zellweger, a Duck.
Yeah, Duck prospect.
So another Duck prospect.
Second rounder from last year.
Ronan Seeley. I talked about this in our notes in our Google Doc. Zellweger is a bit more of an offensive, like both guys are like puck moving defensemen who aren't afraid to carry it out of the zone.
Yeah.
Zellweger I find is more of the offensive threat, but Seeley, like just vice versa. Seeley is really good in the corners, really good on the back end as well.
He's a more physical player, a bigger guy. And I agree with you. Zellweger's like kind of that direction. That's why he was drafted in the second round, because that's kind of the direction Anaheim's moving.
Yeah.
They're moving away from that heavy, slower game to a more like skill game, and Zellweger fits that bill perfectly.
So, and that's why not saying either guy is better than the other. Like I think they both are really good at what they like to do.
They might even be paired together in the tournament. There's a chance.
Possibly.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of funny because Seeley's been paired with Carson's brother Johnny, Carson's older brother Johnny Lambos, in Everett.
In Everett, funny, yeah.
So and they've been the shutdown pair for Everett this year.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I'm interested to see if they go that direction. I would think Dennis Williams, who's the coach of Everett, who's going to be coaching Canada as an assistant, will probably have some say in that.
Likely, yeah, true. That's a good point.
Should we go to Finland?
Let's go to Finland. All I'm gonna say here, Finland's a good looking team. They're always gonna be competitive in the World Juniors, and since they've had some unreal teams. 2016 comes to mind with Aho, Pujärvi, Laine, Rantanen on that team as well.
Never forget that team too, where Canada was just not good.
They were just not good.
That tournament, and then it was in Helsinki. So
yeah, it was a home tournament, and they beat Russia, a good Russian team as well.
They were pretty much set up to do well.
Yeah, another 2014 with Ristolainen scoring the game winner. That was a good year as well.
That's funny to think about in hindsight. No offense to Ristolainen, but thinking about him.
Ristolainen contributing offense.
Yes.
Who would have thought? Anyways, this year, 2022 World Juniors, Brad Lambert, he is a Canadian-born Finn. He is draft eligible this year. He'll likely go in the top 10. He'll play a lot. He'll be your first, second line center on the Finnish team. And he's going to score a lot. He was really solid last tournament, and he's going to do the same thing, if not better, at this one.
Over under 5 times throughout the World Juniors, we'll be told that Brad Lambert's from Canada, who's playing for Finland.
Over 5 times.
Yeah, that's going to be probably our SYP drinking game.
Yeah.
Is the Brad Lambert's born in Canada.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, Finland, like, goaltending's okay. You don't have anybody in net that really impresses me. No. Atu Ratti is like.
Yep, he's another draft eligible. Oh no, he's drafted by the Islanders.
Well, he was drafted by the Islanders, but that pick that was drafted by that was used by the Islanders was originally the Red Wings draft pick.
Interesting.
Used to acquire Nick Leddy.
Interesting.
And I don't think that's worth it. I would rather probably have Atu Ratti
than Nick Leddy. Fair enough. That's a conversation.
But that's more how I feel about Ratti.
Yeah.
Than I do about Nick Leddy. And
by the way, Atu Ratti is actually pronounced Atu Ratu in Finnish, but he's on the World Junior team as well. He's on going off about his wins. Yeah,
that's just a Red Wings rant.
Red Wings rant. Another guy that stood out to me, Topi Niemela, who you're probably just going to talk about.
Yeah.
I believe third round pick. He'll probably be the power play quarterback on the team. He's going to provide the most offense from the back end for the Finns, and yeah. So watch for Niemela. He'll probably be number 7. He's a right shot. Kind of reminds me, not of Drysdale, but like that kind of build. Maybe like a puck moving, like a Morgan Riley, but right hand.
Yeah,
in a way.
I was gonna say that makes sense as a Leaf pick.
Yeah.
Their defense I actually like on this team. Like Niemela, former Everett Silvertip, Casper who's played in like 20 like Liga games in the Pro Finnish League this year, so he's got pro experience. Emil Viro, I really like.
Oh, Viro, yeah, right. He was good last year too.
He was good. I like him. It's kind of, this weird thing of like, is Finland going to score enough? But they have the defense to do well too. So like I kind of see where Finland's going with this year.
For sure.
Like it should be good enough to get them 4th in the tournament altogether.
I would think so. I would think they're going to play for bronze.
Probably.
Lately. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So Finland, like, they should be, how do I put this? They should be going for a medal. If they don't get a medal, it will be slightly disappointing.
It'll be disappointing, yeah. Let's move to the Czech Republic.
Okay.
So these guys, very much two-headed monster on offense. Don't I talk about Novak or don't we talk about?
You talk about Novak. About Novak.
So Pavel Novak plays for the Kelowna Rockets. He's number 11. He is one of the more dynamic playmakers on the Rockets, and he will do the exact same for the Czech Republic. I watched his game a couple weeks ago in early November. He looked really good, just very like solid puck mover, and he'll be same thing here in the tournament. Hopefully.
I saw him when he played Everett December 8th.
Yep.
You could see the guy had like a lot to offer. Yep. He was just struggling against the Silvertips.
Against a tough defensive team.
Yeah. So I think he's really good, and you can talk with the other guy as well. I'll talk about the third Czech forward that I'm interested in.
Sure. Yeah. Jan Mishak is the other guy that came to mind. A Montreal draft pick. He plays for Hamilton Bulldogs. He's going to be most likely the captain of the team, and he'll again be a major contributor to the offensive side of the puck with Novak and the other guy Ian's going to mention, Michael Gout, who plays for the Everett Silvertips.
Another Everett Silvertip.
Yeah.
He's had pretty much I'm a homer. I think he's put up 30 points in 24 games this year. Mostly assists. He is going to be the assistant for the Czechs this year. He's got a chip on his shoulder, mostly because in 2019-20, before things got shut down with COVID, he had a major injury that forced him to miss about 10 games. It impacted his draft status, so he's technically an undrafted free agent right now. Like he can sign with just about
anyone, yeah.
But he hasn't. So he didn't play in Everett last year, obviously, because of the short season and COVID. Right. And this season, he's got 30 points in 24 games. Like the dude's an offensive playmaker at center.
Oh, yeah.
And you kind of notice since he's been gone, Everett's not had that same type of playmaking ability at the center position.
Yeah.
So this is really an opportunity for Gout to, like, he can do well in dub. It's just a matter of taking that to the next level and showing it on an international level. Definitely. He was scoreless in, I think, 3 games last year with the Czechs. So.
Fair enough. Let's talk about Germany. Germany, yeah.
Okay.
So these guys they've lost, or maybe not lost, but a lot of the players that could play, Stützle, Paterka, Lucas Reichel, they've all they're all not coming. They're all in the NHL or the AHL, contributing a lot to their respective teams. One guy that was part of their quote big line from last year, Florian Elias, the little center, number 7. He'll play a big role. He'll probably be the captain of the team. Biggest question for you is how do you think he'll adapt to the new game and having to deal without having his 2 finishers?
Yeah, that's gonna suck.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of for Germany, just I don't want to say rebuilding year, because rebuilding, they have Germany's been rebuilding their system for like a few years now.
Yeah.
And it's obviously produced some tremendous prospects,
yeah.
like you mentioned, of Reichel, Paterka, Draisaitl even before that.
Yeah.
But now it's trying to get the next generation
up and going.
And I mean, they should probably finish 4th. I would be surprised.
Well, I would hope they beat Austria.
I would think so, and I would be really surprised if they beat the Czechs and finish 3rd.
Yeah,
but
they might. You never know. You never know, Germany.
Yeah.
One guy, speaking of up and coming prospects, a guy named Max Glotzel. He's being described as the next Moritz Seider, which is interest to you.
Yeah.
He's going to play a lot. He'll play some big minutes. The other guy, Munzenberger, is one of the returning defensemen for Germany, and he'll play a lot as well. They'll probably be paired together. The thing with Munzenberger is very defensively oriented. Glotzel's a more dynamic guy, kind of like Seider was. He's a big body, plays kind of a forward driving game, if you will, and brings the offense from the back end like Seider did. So yeah, watch out for Glotzel for Team Germany here.
I kind of think Germany is a worse Finland, if that makes sense. Of you kind of know how they want to play, of low scoring defensive battles. And because they don't have the same star power or the same finishing skills,
they have to play a team game.
They got to play a team game, and they're probably going to be on the losing side of a lot of 2-1. 3-2.
I think when they play Canada, it's only going to be 5 or 6-1. It won't be an absolute blow.
No, and that's because of the fact that they're just playing a real team game with a good defensive style.
Yeah. Let's move to Austria. And speaking of goaltenders, you want to talk about.
I want to talk about Sebastian Vanešek. Who was kind of the feel-good story of the tournament. I felt for a little bit.
I would agree with that.
Even though he wasn't getting a lot of he was getting a lot of action. He wasn't getting a lot of help. So if you remember last season, or last World Juniors, he had the 60 save performance against Sweden, which they only lost 4-0. Yeah, I have it up here, but pretty much he had a 60 save performance against Sweden, 58 saves in an 11-0 loss to the US, and a 54 save effort in a 7-0 loss to the Czechs. That's 173 saves in 3 games, and he did not get a single goal for. So he got literally no goals for in the 3 games.
This year I think might be a bit different. Austria got, so obviously Marco Rossi is gone.
Yes,
he's gone. He's aged out.
By the way, hopefully he's doing okay. He's been battling COVID, and I think that he's been
suffering what's called long-term effects of COVID. Same with Brandon Sutter for the Canucks here. Same kind of deal with him. Anyways, with current team Austria, 2 guys you should watch out for. Marco Casper and Cena Peters are 2 guys that keep an eye out for. Casper is a 17-year-old. He had 1 assist last year. They did score a goal last year.
They did score one goal in the game that Vanešek was not playing.
Was not playing it, of course. Yeah. So here 1 assist. I think he's going to produce more this year. He should be a first-round pick in this year's draft. Maybe a mid-tier first-round pick. And then Peters is Halifax Moosehead. Currently 19 years old. He'll have to play a lot to help keep Austria out of relegation. And we'll talk about who they might play in relegation, because we both have Austria finishing 5th in the group.
Their defense is very no bueno, that's probably going to result in a lot of goals. Unless Vanešek stays on his head again, but it's probably going to be a lot of goals against. Yeah.
Not
that we have high expectations for Austria. It's just they're not that.
Question is, will they get run out of the building, or will they be able to keep it at least
somewhat competitive?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Group B, and we'll talk about your Americans.
Sure.
Zegras is gone.
Yeah.
Caulfield is gone.
Yes.
York is gone.
Yes. Is he gone?
York is gone. Jake
Okay.
Sanderson's their captain. Sanderson is back. Sanderson will be team captain of Team USA. Who are you looking out for? Well, I have a couple guys I have in mind, but
this is the cliche of Drew Comesso.
okay.
Like the goalie. Like the goalie is literally like
the guy to watch.
The guy to watch because he is arguably the fourth best goalie in this tournament.
I would say fourth, yeah.
Like
I think fourth.
Fifth best if you're including Garan.
Yeah, I'd say fifth. I think right. I think
like he is.
There are many better goalies in this tournament, even in this group.
And that's the thing about these World Juniors in these short tournaments is that if you get the guy who's hot at the right time and you get him clicking, then it's
you're hard to beat.
You're hard to beat.
Well, and look at Spencer Knight last year. Look what happened, right? So
Canada wasn't tested last year, and they just faced the best team in the tournament last year.
Also true.
But with that, it's just I think this team is good. Like I think this team has enough depth to be competitive and to put themselves in a gold medal position.
Yeah, true.
And if the goaltending's not there, like if you have poor goaltending, then it's kind of like, but it's like Canada like a few years ago. Remember like the stretch of like poor goaltending that Canada got at tournaments?
Yeah, true.
It's like for 3 years.
Yeah, it was after the McDavid tournament, and then they had shit goalie, and then until Carter Hart came around.
Yeah, and so that was pretty much. I'm not saying that's what I'm expecting from the U.S.
Yeah,
but if Comesso is not that guy,
who's gonna be? Yeah, who knows? So I would say for the U.S. goaltending is definitely a question mark.
And I don't like to be that cliche guy, but it's just that's how I feel about this tournament
for sure. Let's talk about some of their forwards. Their forward group is actually pretty good. I don't mind it. I think Canada's forward group is better, but when you have a guy like Matt Beniers and you got Chaz Lucius and Coronado, it's a good looking team. A couple first round picks.
What I like about what the Americans do really well, and what they do better than Canadians, is they have the better development program.
It's debatable, but okay.
Because most of these guys are coming up through the U.S. national,
and they all play together,
and they've all had some like.
They do the same thing in Canada. It's just it's tournament play versus being like a league play.
So that's what I like about how the Americans do it is that they basically have this development program of like at least these guys will have more experience playing within one another and will know each other a bit more than the Canadian guys.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which I'm not saying that's going to lead them to victory, but at the same time, I mean, I like Canada's forward group more, and if they can continue with their, they rolled 4 lines really well. Like as much as you want to give credit to Zegras and Caulfield last year, they did a really good job of rolling 4 lines.
Yeah,
and playing.
Turcotte and Calgary too, but
that's what I'm saying. They rolled 4 lines. Yeah. They weren't just relying on their top guys. Their bottom 6 was also effective when needed.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
So that's what I'm expecting from the U.S. again this year.
Yeah. Speaking of guys that you might not expect and some unheralded players, I'm going to talk about Sasha Pastor, which you kind of probably saw coming.
Really?
Yeah, I know, right? Who would have thought? Scott talks about Aaron Ducks. He's a shooter. He's gonna rip up some of these nets here. He is as of right now. Before he went to U.S. camp, in 26 games with the Guelph Storm, he had 20 goals and 35 points. He's a 3rd round pick of Anaheim, and he might light up some goals, especially against some of the weaker teams in Group B. The kid's gonna shoot a lot, and he's like getting a lot of hype in Anaheim circles. He's a good looking prospect. He was 2021 3rd round pick, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Pastor, 3rd round pick. So
former Guelph Storm, I believe.
He's still there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, still there. So,
I was going to say other Americans I wanted to just mention.
Yep.
Red Savage.
Yep.
Name wise, Red Savage. Great name. Logan Slaggert.
Not a great name.
Great name. And Tyler Clevin is like a D-man who could be the 3rd best D-man for the U.S. this year if things go well. And
I would say Sanderson's 1. He's going to play.
It's Sanderson. It's Sanderson, Luke Hughes, and then Clevin probably.
As a 3rd.
Yeah,
I'd agree with that.
I have him finishing 2nd in Group B.
The U.S.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's mostly because I just really love Sweden. And
who we're gonna talk about right now.
Yes. I think Sweden's roster, just from like a hockey fan perspective, this team fucking slaps. Let me tell you.
So is Wallstead the best goalie in the room? Do you think? Like, going into it now.
I think it's probably Askarov.
Really? No way.
I think it's like, I think it's probably him. Of all the goalies who I'd probably want, I think it would go Askarov. That's it. I think that's how you probably say it. Is Askarov?
Askarov.
Askarov, Wallstedt, Costa, Grand, and then Comesso.
Okay.
Like, there's a lot of good goalies in this tournament.
There are. I'm very excited. There's going to be, especially that Sweden-Russia game, might be a 2-1 game. It could also be a 6-4 game, but it, with the goaltending talent, might be 2-1.
So,
Boxing Day, by the way.
Can we just say, yeah, we're going to be live streaming games on Sunday.
Yes.
All right. Live streaming World Junior Games Sunday. Stay tuned. Could I just like talk about this forward group on Sunday?
Yeah, bring it. Go off. Yeah.
William Eckland.
Yep.
Fabian Lysell.
Yep.
First round pick of the Boston Bruins, plays for the Vancouver Giants this year. More than a pest than you realize.
He's a machine.
Theodore Niederbach, Detroit Red Wings prospect.
6'7", 210 pounds. 210 pounds?
180.
180. 6'7" though.
I don't know if he's that big, but he's a big boy.
He's huge. He's noticeably bigger than everyone else is.
Isaac Rosen.
Oh, Rosen's in
yes.
Okay.
And then I guess that's all.
Those are like your big four.
That's your big four.
Big four. Yeah.
And so I've seen Lysell play twice.
Yeah, for the Giants. Yeah.
For the Giants. He's good.
Yeah.
He's a pest. He's not afraid to talk shit to the opponent. Like,
and that's gonna cause, because like, especially he's kind of like, I want to say he's like a Vander Kane before he got into this shit. Like, kind of like a kind of the next coming.
He's more skilled. He's more skilled.
More skilled than Kane. Yeah.
A more skilled Evander
Kane. Yeah. And hopefully he doesn't do any dumb shit after.
Well, that's going to be exciting to see if he does that.
I mean, we've talked about a bit before, like pre-podcast. Is William Eckland going to be the best player in the tournament? Do you think?
Well, you would think so.
You would think so. Like, he might be. He actually might be.
He could be. I mean, I'm surprised he's not with the Sharks right now.
Well, he played 9 games, did he not?
Why wouldn't you keep him? He's arguably one of the best players on the Sharks.
But again, he's playing SHL, so he's back to play with men anyways.
Sure, but I mean, he's one of your. Would he not be one of the best players on the Sharks this year?
But yeah, that's not good for his development. Look what happened to Stutzla. It's kind of a slump, right?
But that's Ottawa.
Okay, yeah. Okay, San Jose no better. They're not much better.
Not much. Anyways, William Eckland fucking rocks. That dude is so good.
Yeah.
You want to talk about even their defense, like Emil Andre, Simon Edvinsson. Edvinsson might be the best D-man in this tournament. You could make an argument for him.
I think he's better defenseman, but
I think there is too. But by the end of it, if Simon Edvinsson has 14 points in however many games, are you going to be surprised? Probably not.
I wouldn't be.
Helge Grans.
Yeah, he's good too.
Like, there's some good players on this team, man.
I'm excited to see Sweden. Yeah, Sweden's kind of my dark horse pick to win.
I think so.
They might be. I think they are. I mean, you have them first in Group B.
I have them first in Group B. Arguably best goalie. We had that conversation.
I think, yeah. If not, I think
even Jesper Wickman, who he might be the third goalie still. He's had a pretty good year with the Vancouver Giants.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of talent on this team.
There is. Yeah, it's a good. So watch out for Sweden. They play Russia on Boxing Day, so go watch that. I think that's right. I think they do. Oh, okay. Anyways, let's talk about who we think they're playing on Boxing Day. That's Russia.
Okay.
Earlier I talked about Bedard, and I talked about another guy. The other guy's name is Matvey Michkov, who is another 16-year-old in the tournament. Him and Bedard will be like 1A, 1B.
So pretty much with that, those guys basically went head to head, basically mano a mano in the under 18.
The U18, yeah.
This year in Texas.
Yeah.
And that was even just for
it's epic.
Yeah, for a U18 tournament.
Yeah. I don't know if a U18 tournament's got that much hype. I don't think, to be honest. I mean, it was the only thing going on at the time.
Sure, in the spring, yeah, there wasn't much else during the day.
It's a sick tournament, nonetheless.
So Mekachev is your
Michkov,
excuse me. Michkov.
Michkov, and I mean obviously Askarov, but we can, if you want to talk about him, go into that more.
Well, I think with Askarov, like remember last year just how wild he was?
Oh, he was insane.
It was entertaining. And I think that here's the thing. I think Askarov is probably the most entertaining player coming into this tournament, just in terms of just like shithousery that he can, because he's not afraid to go out to the face-off dot to play the puck.
Yeah,
which is great in the international game. It's frowned upon in the NHL because of how the rules are with the NHL and how conservative everybody is in the NHL.
True.
But if this dude is on, I was surprised that he was even. I was surprised he was even eligible to come back because
I think he's barely 19. He's almost 20.
He's like, this is his third tournament, and if he's gonna be on, like if he is Vladislav Tretiak for 2 weeks,
that's a bold comparison, dude.
If he's that hot for 2 weeks,
that's a bold comparison. Wow.
If he's that hot,
you think Russia's win it then?
Watch out. I'm not guaranteeing a Russia win, but like if
him and Wallstedt are probably the two guys that can stand on their head and carry their team to the gold medal. Like for real. Like I think probably them over Costa. I would agree. Costa's a good goalie, and he's going to play in front of a good team, and that's why his numbers are going to look good. But Wallstedt and Askarov can do that without a good team.
In terms of guys who can make 40 saves a night,
they can do it.
And they'll let one goal. Yeah, Wallstedt and Askarov will do that.
Yeah.
Defense is underwhelming on this team.
It always is with Russians though.
But they haven't had a great Russian defense. When was the last great Russian Romanov?
I'd say 2016 with Boudreaux as their head guy.
That was the last great Russian D-man?
Oh, Romanov was the last one, yeah.
Yeah.
Romanov. Like the last individual defenseman?
Yeah.
Romanov,
I was going to say
Romanov. But as a team, their 2016 team.
Yeah,
was
that's
the best
right.
core. Yeah. But yeah, Romanov, we actually saw him live 2019. We saw that. Yeah, Romanov, he was wearing a cage that tournament because he wasn't drafted quite yet. He was 2019 draft.
I think that's right.
Yeah, he was 2019 draft, so he's still wearing a cage.
Alexiev is like another defenseman I like, but like I
think he'll be good. Well, this is his second year. So
yeah, he's not even on the same level as those guys.
No, God no. Romanov's something else.
You want to talk about their top defenseman?
About Alexiev?
No, I was going to say Shakir or Michael.
Oh, Mugwadillan. Yeah.
Mugwadillan.
Yeah, that's a mouthful. New Jersey Devils draft pick.
Kind of a surprising pick too when that happened.
Oh,
but now it makes a lot of
now it makes sense. He's a big guy. He's a good, solid puck mover. Just a very modern day two-way defenseman.
Yeah,
if you will, maybe not traditional Russian defenseman, but very, because he's not traditional Russian. He's just a solid. He's a very solid defenseman. Plays a big game. Plays a solid two-way game. He's like a poor man's Victor Hedman, in a way.
He's like a young, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, Victor Hedman's got a little bit of a lot more luster to his game than Mugwadillan does.
Yeah.
A mouthful.
Well, I was gonna say, speaking of mouthfuls, Marat Kuznetsov. I've had too much to drink.
You drank a lot.
Yeah,
you're drunk.
No, I'm not drunk, but Kuznetsov.
Can I see that? Let's see this. Who are you talking about?
So here.
Yeah, I got it.
Pretty much Russian names are hard.
Kuznetsov.
Yeah,
there you go.
Clearly had too much to drink. He's gonna probably be their second best forward, top forwards. Michkov.
There's Miroshnichenko, who is draft eligible this year as well. He's another guy I'd watch out for as well.
Yeah, he's gonna be good.
Yeah, he'll be very good. Top 10 pick coming up.
Do we think Russia has a shot at winning this? I think if Askarov is hot and
Askarov's the biggest X factor.
If he could stay hot and they get enough scoring, then probably.
Well, it's hard to say.
But Askarov has to make up for the defense. That's the thing.
That's the thing, and I mean that's why I said he's the biggest X factor. If he can post a 970 save percentage, give up a goal and a half, 2 goal a game, he might do it. He might, but we'll see. Let's talk Slovakia next.
Hasn't it seemed like for like 3 or 4 years now, they just talked about how like Slovakian hockey has kind of just declined and like the popularity of hockey has declined in Slovakia?
Yeah, a little bit.
That kind of feels like an underlying theme in these last 3 or 4 World Juniors.
Yep. I get that ever since, because they won bronze in 2015, I think. I'm pretty sure it was 2015 they won bronze. But this, and again, to Ian's point about their decline, like again, gone are the days of Chara, of Marian Hossa, these not superstars, but of these star players who played big roles in their team.
They did get a bronze in 2015.
They won bronze in 2015,
So very much so. Can we talk about Slovakia?
Sure.
So Slovakia, let's just do of the last 10 years, okay?
Sure.
So 2021, they finished 8th.
Okay.
2022 to finish 6th.
2020?
2012, they finished 6th.
Okay.
13, they finished 8th.
Yep.
14, they finished 8th.
Okay.
Won a bronze in 2015 after they had a really good goalie performance that year, didn't they? From that guy. I can't remember what his name is. I'll pull that up. 2016, they finished 7th. 2017, they finished 8th. 2018, they finished 7th. 2019, they finished 8th. 2020, they finished 8th.
Very mediocre.
They're very underwhelming.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we're going to talk about this other team. They've kind of regressed while Switzerland has like really not made a resurgence, but like.
Well, I'd say Germany's made more of a resurgence.
Sure, but I mean, Switzerland, I feel like is another team who's like have found a way to like win an extra, come out with an extra win.
Right. You ready for some of the guys on
the 2015 Slovakia team?
Yeah,
sure.
Peter Schillarik.
Ooh,
Boston draft pick.
Yeah.
Martin Riwe.
Ooh, yeah, that's a name.
Yeah, 2013 draft pick of Montreal. Christian Jarvis.
Really? Okay.
And you'll get this one. Eric Chernak.
Oh, that makes sense.
He was he's a big guy. He was 6'4", 203 by this posting here. He's probably big now. He's probably like 220.
But imagine being 6'4", 203 pounds, like 18.
And 18.
19.
Crazy. I was like 6 feet, like 155 pounds. Crazy.
Yeah, Slovakia is underwhelming.
Underwhelming, but they might surprise some people in this tournament. There's 2 guys that stood out to me.
Sure.
Martin Chromiak. He plays in Kingston with Shane Wright. So, and he has 21 points, 16 games. Again, how much is that Shane Wright's doing? I don't know, but
probably a lot.
So, but either way, he's still got to put the puck in the net. So, 21 points, 16 games. He'll be a leader on the Slovakian team in this tournament. Another guy,
Dennis Goudala is the name of the goalie from 2015.
It is. Okay, yeah. I wasn't sure which guy. There was 3 of them. Didn't really clearly say which one was the starter.
Hey, fair enough.
But Goudala was the starter. He's 5'11", 165 in that tournament. Little guy. Ryan Miller build.
Yeah, this is a team that
very underwhelming. I think is the best way to describe it. They're gonna finish 7th or 8th in the tournament, and they're gonna play next year. And they're gonna kind of be in that same rut until they either get a couple like high star like caliber picks or like potential draft picks, or they have a team that like a bunch of 16, 17-year-olds and they don't even get past like Switzerland and Germany and Austria. So we'll see.
It's kind of disappointing.
It is disappointing. Well, unfortunately, we're going to get more disappointing with Switzerland.
Why is Switzerland disappointing?
Well, they're not going to be in 3rd place in their group. They're going to finish 4th in their group, I think.
Well, yeah, but I mean, this is the same. Like they're going against Sweden, U.S., and Russia. Like I don't think that's the expectation.
But do you think they can beat any of those teams? Do you think they can? Do you think they have a chance?
They could upset somebody. No, you weren't with me a few years ago when we went to watch Russia Switzerland in Vancouver with my brother. No, we went into like
we went to Russia Denmark.
We went to Russia Denmark, but my brother and I went to Russia Switzerland, and we sat 2nd row from the corner.
Let's go.
Yeah, we just went into the seats. No one stopped us.
Yeah.
And Switzerland was close in that game. Speaking of which, friend of the podcast, I don't know, did Alexis text you about who to watch between Russia Slovakia and Russia Switzerland?
No.
She texted me, and I'm just like, I think it's kind of a wash.
Who did she say?
Well, she said like it's a better game Russia Slovakia or Russia Switzerland to go watch. And I said Switzerland, but it's pretty much a wash. Like I don't think it's really much of a difference. It's like, okay, cool. Just like neither one of these teams are
that exciting.
No,
that's true.
Thoughts on Switzerland?
Their guy Lorenzo Canonica, he played last year. He's back. He went undrafted in the 2021 draft, and I think that's gonna piss him off a bit. So if Switzerland has any chance to beat or insert Sweden, Russia, United States a run for their money, he's gonna have to play a lot and score a lot.
I don't recognize a single name on the projected roster.
There you go.
For Switzerland.
I didn't either when I did my research. I did some research for this pod, by the way.
He did actually. No, this dude wrote 3 pages worth of research from when we started. So that's good. Good to have somebody here who's actually taking this seriously instead of just drinking.
Hey, this is like my podcast. This is the podcast I like look forward to every year. So.
Oh, good. Okay. Well,
what's my favorite tournament all year, right? So.
Hey, fair enough.
Yeah, man.
So with that, again, did you have Switzerland finishing last, or did you have Switzerland?
I have
Switzerland or Slovakia?
I said Switzerland, but I think I'm going to switch that. I think Slovakia is going to finish last, actually.
I have Slovakia finishing last.
Yeah. So I have US, Sweden, Russia, Switzerland, Slovakia is my order.
And I have Sweden, USA, Russia, Switzerland, Slovakia.
So Russia's finishing third.
Yeah.
Unless Askarov gives us a hell of a performance, but we will find that out soon enough.
Yeah.
Pick to win it all.
I mean, I guess I'm obligated to pick the US to win it all, aren't I?
They are the defending champs after all.
I mean, here's the thing. I don't think their team is as good as last year, but I do think if they, have a really strong team chemistry, if they're rolling 4 lines really well, if they get production from their bottom forwards, then I think they're doing okay.
Yeah.
I think my pick to win it all might be Sweden.
Really? Okay.
I'm like really like drinking the Swedish Kool-Aid. What's the Kool-Aid equivalent in Sweden?
Wouldn't know.
Something IKEA, I guess, wouldn't it be?
Well, you could probably get it at IKEA. It's probably not IKEA, but
doesn't IKEA have like their own like cheap stuff that they like make?
IKEA's got everything.
Yeah, so they probably have like their own cheap like orange soda or something.
Probably, yeah. Probably. Well, we'll have to go to Sweden. Go to a tournament in Stockholm or Malmo.
I'm gonna say Sweden wins gold
over
Canada, and then I'll say the Americans win bronze over Finland.
I like it. Okay, that's a good pick. That's a good pick. I will pick Homer pick. Canada's gonna beat Russia in the gold medal game, and Sweden will beat Team USA in the bronze medal game. Yeah,
it's really just like
it's tough. I'm not sure if that works with like the groupings and stuff, but
no one knows.
No, I just don't know.
Comesso is like the real basically the 2 real X factors I have in this tournament are just Comesso and Escarov.
Escarov, the 2 goalies of the 2 Walker teams.
Yeah, if Comesso is good, then the US is going to be really good. If Escarov is good, Russia is going to be really good.
And if all 3 of those goalies, including Wallstead in Group B, are very good, it's going to be 3 unbelievable goalie battles.
It might be a Survivor thing where we have to vote somebody out of Edmonton.
Yeah, pretty much. Or Red because Group B is Red Deer.
Red Deer. Yes, excuse me.
Western Financial Center.
Is that what it's called? I thought it used to be NMAX.
Used to be. No, NMAX is somewhere else.
Isn't NMAX? No, well,
no, that's the incentive.
No,
maybe you're right. Maybe this is.
But I thought not Edmonton. Red Deer and Lethbridge used to share the same name, and one was called like the Center.
Lethbridge is NMAX.
And it might still be, but it's like I thought NMAX Coliseum and one was like the NMAX Center or something.
Let's find out. Let's do this fact check.
Let's pull that up.
Yeah. What's the thing you want to say? Pull it up.
Pull that up, Jamie. Taking that from Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
One day we're gonna do a podcast where I'm gonna try and name the name of every WHL arena.
Oh, that'd be a good pod.
Yeah.
But we gotta get a few drinks in you first, and then
that's fine. We have a few Shafts. The drink that keeps you up all night and all morning. Shaft. Is this a local beer? Or local?
No, Shaft is a Vancouver. It's like a Victoria drink. It's a
Trail.
I think it just got Maiden Trail. But shafts are popular in Victoria. It's like a coffee. It's an espresso-based vodka drink.
So water, vodka,
It's pretty good.
Chilean espresso, sucrose,
Homemade shaft is really good.
natural flavors. Well, isn't everything homemade better?
Yeah. Yeah, sure. We'll see.
Color, citric acid, my favorite. Potassium sorbate and sodium benzonate.
Benzonate. So that's some good ingredients in there.
Shaft, get it while supplies last.
I'm still looking up this arena.
Well, but basically, the other thing I was suggesting that we do, or somebody has to do, is talk about the impact of gentrification. Since the homeless shelter is right behind Rogers Arena in Edmonton,
right?
Or Rogers Place, excuse me, not Rogers Arena, because Rogers owns
Get it right.
Hey, did you hear about Rogers Center in Toronto, by the way?
What about it?
Apparently they're gonna renovate it.
Really?
Yeah, they're gonna put $250 million into renovating it.
Interesting. That's a good thing.
That's gonna be on our baseball podcast that we do at some point.
At some point, whatever that might be. So 2 things.
Yes.
The arena in Red Deer is now called the PV Mart Centrium. It was formerly called the NMAX Centrium. Good call.
Centrium,
yes. Not center, Centrium. Let's be clear.
Is that Latin?
I'll look that up later. Anyways, so this is from like a week and a half ago when we were supposed to do this pod.
Yeah.
But I got busy with school.
Yeah.
I have 9 nailbait questions that I got to myself.
Good Lord.
So
wow,
I'm going to answer all those in rapid fashion because.
Oh, we can take as much time as we want. What else are we doing?
Okay.
What you have a hot date that you need to go to? Do you have somewhere better than here to be?
Well, okay, we'll take our time with this one. Some of the questions some of these questions answered are very quick though.
Well, I was
the thing.
But I was gonna say that's like what I was saying pre-podcast of like, there's more than one is how I would respond to my dating situation.
Anyways, let's get into these questions.
That's what the people want to hear.
Let's get into these questions here.
Sure.
So friend of the pod, Kara Johnston, asked me, HK president, also shout out to Kara. She asked, do you think I'm NHL material? And my answer to this is, well, if you're in the NHL, you can't be a president, so pick your poison, I guess. I have 3 questions from my sister Katie. She asked me, first question is, how do you puck? Ian, how do you puck?
With a stick, usually.
With a stick, usually. Okay.
Here's the thing. I'm not the expert on pucking. I've never been an expert on pucking. Never been my forte per se.
Never your cup of tea.
No.
Okay.
That you're asking the wrong person.
Okay. How do you puck? You use your stick, you put the puck in the net, and you chip and chase. You
dangle, snipe, selly,
boys. Yeah, exactly.
That's every Letterkenny episode ever. It's just dangle, snipe, selly.
Katie also says this is pucking awesome. She's very funny with the puns here. And she also asked. So this is a question for you actually. The question is, how do you create a nice podcast? And the ICE is in capital letters in the word nice.
Well, typically what I do, because my computer sounds like a Boeing 747 when it's operating, I throw it in a snowbank at least 2 hours a day to keep it
like 2 hours pre-pod. It's like
pre-pod.
You know, like pre and warm, right? It's like pre-game cool down.
Yes, exactly. It's pre-gaming, but you throw your computer on a snowbank.
In a snowbank, yeah.
And then it's real nice.
What if it's in the summer and you're doing a pod? What happens then?
Then you throw it in the ice tub.
In the ice tub? Oh, okay.
Have you ever done an ice bath?
Fucking rocks, dude.
Does it rock? Yeah. I've always wanted to try it, but I'm like a little like I'm not the biggest. Like
it's cold in. Down
oh really? You don't say it's cold.
I'm not finished. It's cold. It's really cold down under. If you know what I'm getting at.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
I'm not. But see, I'd be interested in doing it. I'm just not a big cold guy. Like I don't love the cold. So that's why I'm like kind of halvesies on it.
Fair enough. Anyways, those are 3 questions, Katie. A question also from friend of the pod, Kenny Olson.
Ooh.
She asked, how can I join your hockey league?
That's kind of on you. I can't answer.
Yeah, that's me. Tough Tough one. How can you?
How is your season going, by the way? You're at the break now. You're kind of like the NHL. You're at a break right now.
Yeah, we have a pause, and it might be extended longer with COVID, but we have to see what Bonnie Henry lets us do. But yeah, as of right now, league feels like we played 8 games so far. I'll show you the standings later, but
I will be interested in seeing those.
Yeah, I'll just answer Kenny's question quickly here. How do you join a league? Like,
can you join halfway through? Is that?
Yep, you can join halfway through, but the issue is our league's very full. So unlikely that we'll be able to get you a spot, but we can add you to drop from this if you want. So let me know. Question from a good buddy of mine, Alex Mason. He asks, if Carey Price returns, can the Habs make something out of this season?
No. The Habs stink.
There you go. You heard it here first, folks.
I didn't even hesitate. I have food in my mouth. I didn't even hesitate. The Habs stink.
No, like they're just.
I could play for the Habs. I could play for the Habs. Apparently, so we're doing drop-in on Thursday.
That's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow when we record. Apparently, if you do well at the tryout, the Calgary Flames are going to sign you to a PTO.
The drop-in hockey tryout.
Yes, that the Flames are going to sign you to a PTO because all of their players are on COVID protocol list. So the Flames are going to sign you tomorrow.
So we should go to Calgary. So maybe there's going to be a scout in the building, and we get to show them. There's going to be like 6 of us there, so we'll show them.
And there's going to be 6 scouts.
My cousin, Tori from.
Shout out Tori. She just followed us recently. Tori rocks.
You follow her. She asks, speak your piece / me. Do you like hockey?
I love hockey. I hate the NHL.
I don't hate the NHL.
Here's the thing. The NHL, like hockey's the best sport. The NHL is the worst league.
Of the Big Four.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That's a good one.
But it's also funny because like we just talked about baseball. Baseball's in a lockout.
Yeah.
And then people like
talk about worst league.
But then also like baseball fans are just like, what is trying to explain like what is a lockout? It's like, oh, you clearly aren't hockey fans because you don't know what a lockout is. I see how it is. Nice job, guys.
They were in a live when the last lockout in the MLB happened.
Yeah, I don't remember it.
There's a couple questions here. So but good buddy of mine, Reed Kishado from UBCO, good buddy of mine. So shout out Reed.
Follows the pod
too. He asks, is Vancouver honestly making the playoffs?
No.
Really?
No. The Canucks?
Bruce, there it is though, bro. Come on.
No, they're not making the playoffs. So we talked about this with Jevin last week.
Yeah.
With Jevin Lefebvre, left side heavy podcast.
Great guy. Go follow him.
Go check out his stuff. Do you think the Canucks are better? I mean, I guess Paul Maurice just resigned last week. So
last week.
Do you think they're better than the Jets?
Right now, or like in general?
Right. I think here's the thing.
Right now,
I think Connor Hellebuck is better than anybody on the Canucks.
I think he's better than Demko, but it's not by much.
I think Hellebuck is really
really good.
So pretty much they have to overcome because I think Edmonton's in the last playoff spot. Edmonton has had a shitty last month. Yeah. Pretty much do you think the Canucks are better than all of Edmonton, Winnipeg, LA, San Jose, Dallas, and they're probably better than Dallas.
They're better than some of those.
They're better than San
Jose. I'd even there's an argument for them being better than Los Angeles.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That's where it's really tricky for me, and I can't.
It's a tough one. Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. That I think Vancouver will not make the playoffs because of how
because we're not going.
Well, true, but also because of how shockingly good the Pacific Division is this year.
Is it that good though?
It's better than some divisions.
Well, there's only 4 divisions. Who do you think it's better than?
The Atlantic's terrible, dude.
I think you're disrespecting the Detroit Red Wings a little too much there.
It's still a terrible division.
No. Listen. Basically, the reason the Canucks are going to stink now is because Omicron and because we're not going.
Fair enough. All right, you heard it.
So they're not making the playoffs because God didn't want them to make the playoffs. They threw a whole bunch of barriers in the way.
There you go. Question from Squamish Golf Simulators. So a good buddy of ours runs that.
Squamish Valley Golf Simulators?
No. Squamish Golf Simulators.
Oh, simulators.
Go check out their Instagram. Great setup.
A
good buddy of ours has. So
we're gonna do a collab here soon, aren't we?
I hope so. We should. He asks, will the Abu Dhabi Oilers win a game this week? And my answer is,
we played last night.
they do.
And we
You guys
played,
won?
yeah, we won a couple times.
There you go.
We had a couple comeback victories last night too.
Nice.
Like we scored. We played threes last night.
Nice.
And we scored. We were down 2-0, and we scored 2 goals in 58 seconds
Not bad, not bad.
to send it to overtime and then win it.
And you win overtime. Right on.
We were the comeback kids yesterday, and then we got the shit kicked out of us by some dude who's like, "I'll that soup your mom" or something like that. Who was just like, he scored like 3 goals like early on because we were like pinching too much, and it's like, okay, well, we're
Fair
fucking
enough.
shit.
Yeah. Anyways, the Abu Dhabi Oilers won a game this week. So last question.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. Last question. Why is this? This is from Raymond, brother, absolute brother. That guy is.
Oh yes.
You know, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is this is the quote? This is quoted. Why is BBQ Boudreaux the greatest coach to ever coach in any sport?
That's a great
It's a
question.
great question. I gotta say, it's a good one to end it on.
BBQ.
I don't know. I think he might have he was like.
No, I think BBQ works.
Is it okay?
I don't know. I mean, he's always been a good coach.
Yeah. True.
He just can't, finish. Which he's not the only person who can't finish.
He's been a very successful regular season coach. I think every regular season team, every team he's coached in the regular season has had a winning record. Every team.
I'm sure that sounds right.
He's one of the most successful regular season coaches of all time.
There was talk about him and this might have been Toronto media, but there were talks of him being an assistant coach with the Leafs. And,
I believe it.
And it's just that makes a lot of sense because he can just make their forwards.
He's an offensive dynamo. Look what he did to the Capitals.
Yeah.
They're an offensive juggernaut, even still to this day.
So it's just, in a way, I'm kind of surprised he didn't do that. But at the same time, hell, he's coaching in Vancouver and the team's pretty good. So what are we upset about? You can't be upset. Team fucking rocks.
Team fucking rocks. Yeah.
Whether
been good. He's been good for the team, I think.
Well, whether they are good after the shutdown, who knows? But
we'll find that out when we get back into normal life. So
yeah.
Ian, any final thoughts on World Juniors, on hockey, on Christmas time?
Goalies are important.
Yep.
I'm still rooting for the US. I probably jinxed them by saying that they're not gonna win gold, but I still think they'll do really well.
Yep.
So basically we're gonna do live streams on Saturday.
Sunday, the 26th.
Sunday.
Christmas.
Sunday
for the Canada game for sure.
We'll also do I think the Seahawks are playing around that time too.
Ooh.
So you can watch me react to a Seahawks game live, which that's gonna be
comical. Let me tell you that.
That's gonna be cancerous.
Comical, not cancerous, comical.
And then New Year's Eve?
New Year's Eve, yeah. I think we can do New Year's Eve and then go well. We can't party anymore.
No, we can't party. We're gonna go. That's when we're gonna do our SYP 2-park takeover. We're gonna go to my grandparents. We're gonna go to my No, this is a good idea because it's outdoors. We go tubing. We go down to my grandparents' backyard and we just go sledding for 2 hours. Have a fire. Maybe we'll move a TV outside. We can watch hockey.
If it's not slushy, sure.
Sure, if it's snowing like it's supposed to.
Like it's supposed to.
Who says no?
We'll cross the bridge.
Let us know if you're interested in SYP 2-park takeover. We'll just go to my grandparents' house. They won't mind. They'll be inside. We'll get a fire going.
I don't want to make fire.
Then we'll just get a fire. Then we'll get a fire going. We'll have.
You've seen me make fire.
Yeah. So then we'll go sledding. We'll have a fire.
All right. There you go.
Who says no? You should join us. DM us for more information when that comes out, and that could be our SYP NYE extravaganza.
I like it.
New Year's Eve blow up.
Yeah.
That's the podcast. We'll be back. We're back for live streams on Sundays. Are we gonna do an awards podcast next week?
Yes, we should. Like at year end. Yeah.
Year in review.
Yeah.
So we'll do that next week. I think we have one other podcast planned for next week too. We should have one, if not 2 podcasts next week.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for watching. Greatly appreciated. We'll be back soon. From Scott Conkin to myself. Peace out.